Welcome to Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to play you commentary from the principal from Uvalde. I'm going to play you new video footage that shows a trooper was on the scene minutes after the shooter entered the building at Uvalde Elementary School. First video. Now it says it's unavailable. Very strange. And I just played the commentary of the principal's commentary. Let's see if we can try another video with her talking. Thank you for joining me.
We turn our attention to Robb Elementary School's principal defending herself after being placed on paid administrative leave. Manny Gutierrez faced heavy criticism for the way she handled school security before and during that mass shooting back on May 24th. Reports cited a culture of non-compliance with keeping doors locked at all times, but she says a custodian checked all classroom locks every night.
I know that upon locking doors, we may have to pull on the door to secure it, but the lock itself, it works. If it had not, it would have been reported. A maintenance order would have been completed.
Investigators also say some teachers didn't receive warnings the gunman was in the school. Gutierrez says she used a phone app to alert them, though connection issues kept her from going through. She says using the intercom would have caused a panic and alerted the gunman.
All right, let's talk about that for just a second. Should they have a code on the intercom that would alert staff, teachers that there's a gunman in the building or a serious situation? The shooter wouldn't know. He may assume, but why not have a code to issue over the intercom to alert the teachers so they would know to try to exit the building, exit the classroom with their students? What's the truth about the lock being broken for 3 months? Who told that information? Is this principal telling the truth about locks locking? They have to pull on the door. What does that mean? You have to pull on the door. Why do you need to pull on the door if you say the locks work? Well, if the locks work, I shouldn't have to pull on the door. So basically you're saying you told them to what? Pull on the door to make sure it locks? I don't understand that commentary. I don't understand that commentary at all. Let's go to scenario number 2 now. New footage of a trooper being on scene minutes after the Uvalde shooter enters the building. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hold on one second. Let's get back to this because this is very interesting information here. Okay, hold on. Let's try to find it again. This is some very tricky information about this shooting, because 1 minute I play it, see, it shows, sorry, this video is no longer available, but just a minute ago, it was up. That's so strange. I went back in so I could film, and now it's not available. I don't know what's going on, but it shows a trooper being in the building minutes after the Uvalde shooter entered. And as you see, it was uploaded by CNN. Actual time clock ticking of the scenario in the hallway. So this is verification that the video was uploaded publicly. Now you see it says no longer available. I don't know why, because I've gone back 2 times now. This is some very interesting information. Let's see if I can find somebody else who may have this video in the YouTube queue. This is very wicked that it's now showing it that you can't play it. Let's try it again somewhere else. Don't you find that strange? How 1 minute I go in, it's playing. The next minute I go back in, it says unavailable. This is some very dicey information. Same thing with her commentary. 1 minute I go in, it's playing. The next minute it's not. I find this very, very interesting. Somebody's not pleased with that video being released. That's what's going on. And I decided to upload this content to show you that there is something fishy with this whole Uvalde school board, videos being released to the public. Now, let's play this. I just played your commentary that she was suspended. Not suspended, but she defends her actions. Now they're saying she's reinstated. This is very odd to me, this information. And now it's buffering. Let's try it again. Let's see if we can find another one. I don't know what's going on with this school board. Now they've got something else. Uvalde Elementary School principal disputes tax security allegations. What is going on with these people? There's like more craziness. Let's see what they have to say here. This is becoming a winded storyline of someone shooting teachers and children.
The school year is approaching, and 19 News needs your help with Operation Backpack. We'll be broadcasting.
Sorry about that commercial.
New school supplies and new backpacks. So make a donation online or drop it off. Help support Operation Backpack.
It's weird stuff going on.
When I was calling Chief Arredondo, I heard 3 shots. The initial 3 shots.
The principal of Robb Elementary School in Uvalde breaking her silence and answering questions about allegations of lax security at the school.
I believe that I did my job to the best of my abilities.
While law enforcement's handling of that ill-fated day has seen the most scrutiny up to now, the families of the victims.
Y'all do not give a damn about our children or us.
Turning their calls for accountability towards the school administration, including the principal who says she was suspended with pay this week pending a performance review relating to campus security. Last school year was her first year as principal.
Starting at that school, at Robb, that principal needs to be gone. All of the school board needs to be gone.
I believe they're entitled to their opinion. I followed the training that I was provided with to the best of my abilities.
The Texas House Investigative Committee report revealed that Robb Elementary had a culture of non-compliance with safety policies, requiring doors to be kept locked, which turned out to be fatal. Gutierrez responding to that criticism.
Was there a culture of non-compliance at Robb Elementary? Absolutely not. Anytime that an alert went out, every single teacher on that campus took it to mean it could be a potential escalating situation. And so everybody follows protocol.
So you disagree with the findings of the Texas House Investigative Report?
I disagree.
According to the Texas House Investigative Report, a coach that was somewhere on school property saw the gunman jump this fence. She used her radio to report it. The principal heard the call and tried to initiate a lockdown using a software application, but the Wi-Fi was bad and she did not use the school intercom.
It could potentially magnify a situation.
That's the door that the gunman used to enter the school. According to the report, the door was unlocked. Had the door been locked, as the policy required, it would have likely slowed down the gunman. Instead, surveillance video showed the gunman walked into the building through an unlocked door.
Why was that door unlocked that day?
I am not sure why that door was unlocked.
So that door was normally locked during the day?
Always locked.
Always?
Yes.
Then walked into a classroom. The report also states that the principal, teachers, and even many 4th grade students widely knew of the problem with the lock to room 111. But no one placed a work order to repair the lock. Not the principal, not anyone else. Gutierrez disputes that account.
What I know for a fact is that the door to room 111 did in fact lock.
It did.
The teacher has to use the key to enter.
So somehow the report says that it was likely unlocked. So somehow it could have been unlocked on that day.
It's possible.
Some of the families of the victims say any safety lapses were inexcusable.
And what would you tell them?
You failed our children. You failed our children.
I am very close to my staff and my students and many of their families. It is an unimaginable pain to know
As I said, who's to blame besides the shooter? Who is the one who put the information out that the lock had been damaged for 3 months? The door, the outside door. Do they have a protocol of lax behavior dealing with locks in the school? Why didn't she have a set of keys to get into any room in the school and outside doors? Because I think a principal should have a key to every damn room in the school, including the entry points. So as I said, who's the person that brought forth the information that the lock outside on the door was broken for 3 months? Somebody told that. Somebody's talking over at that schoolhouse. And it's possibly a teacher. But then now they say it's the protocol of all these people to turn in a work order. Principal, secretary, school teacher. So why didn't somebody say, hey, we need this door fixed? So who's also to blame for not reporting that the door needed repairing? See, it goes on and on and on. I want to show this video of this officer going into the school, trooper, a couple of minutes after the Uvalde shooter, but it's gone now. And I've brought you information in the queue to show that the video was in the queue, but now has been removed suspiciously. And also there's information about her being reinstated. So now you hear her excuses. Do you feel like she's also liable? Do you believe what she's saying? Now they have something about disputes, tax, security allegations, whatever that's about, more drama. I thought I just played that. This is, here it is right here. Texas school principal reinstated after suspension over Uvalde shooting 11 hours ago. I don't think I can play that. Let me see if it'll play. It was kind of buffering earlier. I want to get you all that said information. Just seems like there's something strange in the queue today about Uvalde. Video's not playing, now buffering. It's almost like an omen. Like there's something out there that's not wanting the truth to get out about what's going on with this school, administration, school board, officers, Arredondo. It's just like a big, almost like a conspiracy almost. And I don't believe in conspiracies, but it just seems like nothing is as it should be. See? Buffering. But obviously she's reinstated. Let's see. We type in that. I usually don't do this while I'm filming, but we're going to go on and go out on a limb today. Let's see. If we have a video. I thought there was going to be a video where I could play. Well, we'll just read it. The principal of the elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, where a gunman went on a shooting spree in May, has been reinstated to her position. Mandy Gutierrez was put on administrative leave with pay by Hal Harrell, the superintendent of the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District, following an investigation by a Texas legislative committee that found that she was aware of security issues around the school. Now, this was uploaded 7 hours ago. It's very strange. Okay. So now there's a commercial playing. Hold on one second. Let's see what we've got here, because there's, as I said, there's some funky business going on in the queue today pertaining to this storyline. It seems like it's never ending with Uvalde. Every week since the shooting, there's been a difference of opinion on everything that's happened. Who did what? Who opened the door? Who closed the door? Shooter went in. Who got there first? Who's on second? Who wasn't in charge? Just strange. Now this isn't playing for some reason.
He won't see us.
And were you wondering what was going on, why you had to be there for so long?
Yes.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking what was going on, and I wanted to see, but I didn't want to the gunman see me.
Very sad. A child speaking about wondering what took so long. Now we hear that the principal's reinstated. I've also played you commentary of her opinion pertaining to this wicked situation. And as I said, I'm trying to play you the video that shows the trooper coming into the hallway. You even see the artillery. That's how close the camera is on his person, showing the artillery he had that he could have intervened. This is the verification that a video has been released by CNN News. Texas officer arrived at Uvalde school earlier. This is uploaded 3 days ago by CNN, and I cannot get it to play for some reason. See? No longer available. Why? This is strange to me because I had just played it before hitting my live button to film this commentary. This is some strange stuff. And see, 3 days ago, the principal was on paid leave. Now she's been reinstated. How do you feel about the principal? Is she telling the truth about the locks? Her having to say you have to pull on the door. So it's almost like she's saying, basically, you have to verify that the door is locked. Oh, I know that the locks work, but you still got to pull on the door. That doesn't make any sense. If I shut the door, I shouldn't have to turn around to pull on the door. Or pull on the door when I shut the door. If I shut the door, it should lock. What if I got a lot of things in my hand? I've got to now, put the things down, shut the door, then pull on the door to make sure it's locked. What are you saying? That message sounds so condescending. And it's not to try to put blame on her, but we don't know what all she knows and doesn't know, and what all she's not saying. That's the point of this story. You don't know what to believe by anybody that's involved in this Uvalde elementary school. Officers, you don't know what to believe because there's been too many versions spun since the initial shooting. How could anyone trust anybody? Such as this lady here, that was a month ago. They said that this woman never ran into the school and got her children. Remember that? Now the woman is showing herself with her kids. So why would someone lie and say, oh, I went into a school to retrieve my kids? Days after, when that got out, the officials were downplaying it, saying, oh, nobody went into school. Nobody ran into school and got their kids. But yet here's a picture of the lady with the children. So what are you trying to say? She's making it up. She wants clout. See? There's so many versions. Then the infamous Arredondo, who wasn't in charge. It just goes on and on. I really want to try to play this video of the trooper entering the school because people need to see it. Hold on one second, you guys. Let's see if we can get it to play.
New police body cam video reveals a Texas state trooper was on the scene
Amen.
of the elementary school
Thank
shooting
you.
in Uvalde 5 minutes earlier than previously known.
Look at the time.
CNN's Rosa Flores live in San Antonio with the latest on this. What's going on here, Rosa?
Well, John, this is significant because until now, Texas DPS has really just pointed the finger at the locals, saying that the law enforcement response was an abject failure. So let me take you through this because according to the timelines released by Texas DPS and also testimony by Colonel McCraw, the shooter entered that school at 11:33 a.m. and that the first Texas DPS trooper entered the hallway at 11:42. That's 9 minutes after that shooter entered. Well, this new body camera footage, what it shows is an officer walking towards the west entrance, and that's the same entrance that the shooter entered. And there's a Texas DPS officer, and the time code is 11:51
Heavy artillery.
that morning. So that's only 4 minutes and 51 seconds after the shooter entered, and that trooper was already there.
It's unclear exactly when he actually arrived on scene, but I did go back to the testimony by Colonel McCraw that he gave before the Senate last month, and he stated that that particular trooper drove the school police officer that was part of the initial response. And if you look at the surveillance video, that school police officer first comes into frame in that surveillance hallway video at 11:36:18. So clearly they're a lot earlier than we had previously known. And we asked Texas DPS about this, and here's what they said. They sent us a statement, quote, saying, the director's testimony is accurate regarding what DPS personnel entered that hallway and when they entered. Our internal committee is currently reviewing whether or not those individuals violated any department policies or doctrine. And in the strongest statement released yet to CNN, the district attorney, the DA, telling CNN that she will not hesitate to indict, to criminally charge any law enforcement officer if the law allows. So being very clear there, John, but she's also being very forceful, saying that she's not going to hesitate to criminally charge anyone if the law allows her to do so. John.
At this stage, they shouldn't be splitting hairs or parsing
Yes.
language about who
Yes.
showed up when. This should
Yes.
be a timeline that should be clear to everyone. Rosa Flores, thank you so much for your continued reporting. Keep on pressing.
I finally was able to find the video. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you so much. If you'd like to donate to this network, Everyday Shenanigans, $McAngie, 129 Cash App. Finally, you see officer with heavy artillery, machine gun. Minutes after the shooter enters the building. The timestamp is 11:36, but they're saying 11:42. What is the truth to that day? How many more versions and videos are we going to get? How many more versions are we going to get about the door being locked, unlocked, propped open? Nobody knew it was messed up. Nobody called in a work order. All doors stayed locked during the day. Teacher had to have a key to enter her classroom. Well, I think we know that from allegedly Arredondo trying to put a key in the door and couldn't open it. Was he pretending? Because in the end, he hands over those keys to another officer, and then that officer breaches the door, and then you hear gunfire from inside of the classroom from the shooter. And then there was rumors recently that the door was unlocked. So what's the truth? Was that door to 111 unlocked? Did Arredondo put a key into a door that was unlocked? Did he realize he had a door open but feared going in? Or did he actually put key after key after key inside and none worked? Handed the keys over to an officer. He goes, put the key into the door. The door is breached. Boom, boom, boom. Gunshots. What is the damn truth? How many more versions can you get? And why didn't that officer that showed up, a trooper, mind you, not Uvalde police, why didn't he say, I'm going in? He was there early on, but did not attempt to shoot the lock off the door, shoot through the door, shoot through a window, if indeed the classroom had windows. And once again, I have no verification yet to that. If the classroom had windows, why didn't that trooper go in? Did he need verification of who was in charge? Did Arredondo say, I'm not in charge, I'm just here? What was the actual conversation in that damn hallway? And how many more versions are we going to get? Do you believe the principal should have been reinstated? Do you believe she told the truth in this commentary that you heard today in this live? Why did they reinstate her just shortly after suspending her days ago? What is the truth? To everyone's knowledge of keys, doors, work orders, when was the last time there was a work order put in for any door? This is just a sad, sad story. And I've got a funky feeling that somewhere else in the U.S. there will be another tragedy, and you will hear the same BS about a door, a lock, a window, Somebody didn't know they were in charge. Somebody wasn't in charge. Somebody didn't have a key. Somebody couldn't find the key. It's just going to go round and round and round. There will be no machines to go through to detect metal and or weapons. Children, staff, strangers will be able to just enter in and out of school rooms, school buildings, unattended, with no checks of weapons in their persons, on their persons, or in their bags or purses. No metal detectors. And until you are willing to spend for metal detectors and staff to adequately check everyone going in and out of said buildings and entryways to schoolhouses, you are going to have this problem again, because that means you're going to have to spend more money for security, more money for staff members to operate the machines. That's going to be the problem. That will be the new excuse. We don't have the money for the metal detectors. We don't have the money for the staff members to operate the medical detectors and check book bags and persons and pants and so forth. Then you'll be right back at this story again. This story will be somewhere else in America. Sadly, pathetically, this will be another story of somebody entering a building, wreaking havoc on innocent civilians, children, because somebody didn't want to pay the due bill to keep the building and persons safe. Thank you for joining me. Have a safe weekend. God bless all of you. This is Everyday Shenanigans.